European languages of the USA-EU are not international, not universal, but mere tools of oppression. Do not let them fool you that European languages of the USA-EU are international and universal, because they are not. English, French, Portuguese, Spanish are mere tools of pink supremacy and oppression in Africa. They are live where each terrorist country owner of these languages have committed abomination for centuries over us. We must note that the current regimes in the USA-EU are the same regimes that did slavery, colonialism, and apartheid, all classified as crime against humanity by the UN. These regimes have grown this big and this strong on the horror they have committed in Africa and continue to commit as we speak, as well as elsewhere. The status of international and universal languages we have given the languages in our brains is a mere illusion these USA-EU European colonialists and terrorists feed brown African people to maintain the criminal languages that are killing our languages alive in Africa, therefore maintaining the current ongoing colonialism alive. Without the languages remaining as main languages of communication in brown Africa, the racist colonialism will come to an end, because the primary way they can enforce the terrorist colonial rule in Africa is through the languages, which allow them to condition our brains into slave mentality. As seen with the many brown African people I've interviewed exhibiting such horrible mindset all the times in the videos I've posted so far. In Europe, the only country that speaks English as its main language of communication is the UK. The same applies to Portuguese, Spanish, and French, where only native French speak French in France, part of Belgium, and part of Switzerland. If these languages are international and universal as illegally painted by these terrorist countries of the USA-EU, how come throughout Europe every nation speaks its own language? How come they are only international where they have oppressed? And how come in some part of Africa it is English only, other part Portuguese only, French only, and Spanish only? What kind of international is that? And who has voted them to be international? While our languages are being erased from the face of earth by these racist languages, we are made to worship their languages. When our languages are the only way we can break free from the USA-EU Europeans' mental imprisonment, which has bogged us down in the slave life we live in. Even the little Spanish, which is only spoken by 3 countries in the world, is called an international and universal language in Equatorial Guinea, where the people there remain trapped in that colonial language mental prison. But African languages that are spoken in more than 5 countries in Africa are not called international and universal. That is clear evidence that the mental prison European languages have trapped us in has given us illusions about these cruel people, languages, values, identities, and culture, while demonizing our own to maintain us in a slave life where we worship these European terrorists of the USA-EU. The time has arrived for us brown Africans to break free from the USA-EU Europeans' racist dominance over us, which is made possible by the languages' illegal presence and supremacy in Africa. By removing their languages and banning them from providing us any information, erasing our home of what they have imposed as information, we will be able to truly break free from these people enslavement. The brain is the real you. It is what makes you do things. If it is under the grip of racist USA-EU Europeans, then you will always be the slaves.